Hey guys, how's it going? How are you feeling? I know how you're feeling. You're confused. What's going on with Bitcoin? Is it going to go up? Is it going to go down? In this video, we're not really going to talk about Bitcoin, but we're going to talk about 5 altcoins that I believe have so much potential and they are extremely undervalued right now. But keep in mind, we have to start with talking about Bitcoin because usually altcoins follow where Bitcoin goes, and for that reason, if Bitcoin doesn't seem that like it's going to go up, then I would see no reason in us going into altcoins, because otherwise we're going to see and take a bigger hit on altcoins than we would if we have Bitcoin. Now this video is going to be based on technical analysis and not fundamental analysis, and the difference between these two, technical analysis is looking at the charts and how it's looking and looking at price action basically and technical patterns. Fundamental analysis on the other hand is basically based on news and what's going on in the projects and what new developments are coming out. This is based purely on technical analysis and price action. If you guys want me to go deeper into fundamental analysis, please let me know down below in the comments so I can address it in a later video. Now, from a technical perspective, I'm going to take a look at 5 altcoins that I believe have huge potential to go up if Bitcoin goes up from now on. And until then, I'm going to wait until Bitcoin breaks 42K before I decide to go into any altcoin positions, because the downside is very high compared to Bitcoin if I stay in Bitcoin for now. Now guys, a quick rule of thumb that I use whenever I want to buy into a new asset is I look for discounts, usually 40% discounts and more. The higher the discount, the more likely I'm going to enter this trade, and that is because, well, it's cheaper and there's a higher chance of it to bounce back up. Even though this is purely from a technical perspective, these projects are all extremely solid and I am a big fan of all of them. So I'm not going to give you any projects that I do not know any fundamentals about or that I don't believe in fundamentally. Even though this is from a technical perspective, these projects actually have huge fundamental value. So let's start by taking a look at Bitcoin, and if you notice, the price of Bitcoin right now looks somewhat uncertain. But actually this is normal. When something goes up like that, and then it has to go down somewhat and correct and make previous resistances supports. And if you notice, we have this resistance right here, we broke out of it, and then now we're making it as support again. So it will be a good sign if we see this go up from here, but if it keeps going down and maybe retest this area, it's also not bad. But if we go below this area, then here's when it gets bad and you might want to reconsider selling or maybe even buying more. Personally, I would prefer buying more, but that's not the topic of this video. This video is about altcoins, and now let's talk about an altcoin that I think is very, very undervalued right now, starting off with Uni. Now, Uni is an extremely solid project. This is Uniswap, by the way, not Unibright. Uniswap is a platform where you can, it's basically part of decentralized finance where you can swap coins between one and the other, and you can also lend out and stake coins. So taking a look at the Uni USD chart, it's actually looking great. Now, if you take a look at, well, not great if you bought up there, but it's great right now if you're in it to buy. Because if you take a look, there is right now about a 69 or 70% discount. And right now we're at the 0.786 fib level, which is usually a level where we bounce off. If you notice right there, we bounced off of it, went up, and then we went down, and we're retesting this area. So I would say this is a great buying opportunity right now, not financial advice. But the other reason why I believe this is a huge buying opportunity is if you look at the Uni BTC, as you know, I like looking at the altcoin versus Bitcoin pairs, and that way I can tell if a coin is actually undervalued or properly valued against Bitcoin. And even though this hasn't lost a lot of its value, well, 42% against Bitcoin, that's pretty high. So for that reason, I would buy this. And if you take a look at this midpoint right there, it's a historic support and resistance. If you look at here, it's a support. We broke down, resistance, broke down, we broke out of it, support, broke out of it, support, and now it's supporting again. So as long as we're above this level, it's fine. It's a buying opportunity. So it might be a good opportunity to take the risk right now. On the logarithmic scale, it looks better. So Uni, I believe, other than the fact that it's an amazing project and it has huge things coming up soon, I think it's a great buying opportunity right now. However, by right now, I mean in the near future. It might have a potential huge gains if Bitcoin decides to go up from here. Because if Bitcoin goes down, everything else is going to go down with it. And here's what we saw. Everything went down ever since Bitcoin started dropping. Now, the second coin that I believe is also huge, and one, you either like it or you don't, it's Cardano. I'm a huge fan of Cardano. I don't own a lot of Cardano. Right now, I barely have any. However, I think it's a very solid project. Even though some might argue that there's no way it's going to compete with Ethereum, and some people might say that it's going to overtake Ethereum. I think they're both going to succeed if they keep doing what they're doing. They're doing amazing things, and soon enough we're going to have Ethereum smart contracts launching, so it has a huge potential to go up soon. Plus, it's actually doing really well. From the all-time highs, it dropped, well, 50%. So really well for us, because that's an amazing discount. And it's holding this line of support right there, which is also a good sign. Now, if you take a look against Bitcoin chart, it actually did hold its value pretty well. 22% against Bitcoin. That's honestly great. So, to be honest with you, I personally would not buy this. Even though if you take a look at this chart right here, and you take a look at this line, which is a huge support, resistance, right now we turned this into a support. So we got resisted back in April 2018. We went down, up, up, down, up, and now we broke this, and now we made it as a support. So for me, that's a huge buying opportunity. Even though I like buying coins when they're more discounted, but that's not going to stop me from buying Cardano if I see this curving up and maybe doing something like this, which I see happening if Bitcoin goes up. Key, guys, it's key that Bitcoin is going to go up. And I know this is Cardano against Bitcoin, but if Cardano and Bitcoin both go up, Cardano will probably outpace it because it's a smaller cap coin, and usually altcoins move more than Bitcoin does. So Cardano is an amazing project. I believe in it big time, and I do believe that this chart is looking good. Of course, keeping in mind that Bitcoin also goes up. Now, taking a look at the third one, and that is none other than Litecoin. I've been talking about Litecoin for a while now, and it hasn't been up to standard. However, I still believe in it big time. And the reason for that is, take a look at this chart. Right now, we're back at 132, which was a previous historic resistance. We went up from $20 all the way up to $140 and then got resisted. Then we dropped all the way back ever since June of 2019. And then we broke out of it, went up, and now we might see this turn into a support if by the end of this week, which is about 2.5 days from now, this goes up and gets supported. But for now, Litecoin seems nice, and if you take a look at the Litecoin Bitcoin chart, we're back here. Remember, I was talking about the Litecoin opportunity of buying about at this area after we saw this higher low right here. Well, we're back at this point. So I'm gonna keep an eye out for Litecoin, and if we see Bitcoin curve up, we're gonna definitely see Litecoin move up as well, and potentially this time actually go back to the all-time highs of right there. So potential 300, let's keep it conservative, 300% against the Bitcoin, of course. Now we got two more coins left, and these are Chainlink, the first one. And Chainlink, to me, actually is a huge buying opportunity right now. It went up all the way to $52 almost, all-time high back in May. And right now we are at $17. So we have a potential of 200% against the USD pair. And I see this definitely happening if Bitcoin continues to go up, breaking 42K and going back to the previous all-time highs. The other reason I think this is a good buying opportunity is because this area right here is a resistance, which right now may be turned into a support if, just like Litecoin, by the end of the week we curve back up and maybe we get supported all the way up here. And if you take a look at the BTC pair, Link against Bitcoin, we are at a historic support right here. If you take a look at it, we got resisted once, twice back in March and April of 2020. Then when we broke out of it, we actually exploded. I'm going to draw the line so you can see it clearly. The dotted line that I'm just drawing is the support slash resistance. It was a resistance right there. We broke out of it. We faced some resistance. We broke out of it. We exploded all the way up to this area. And now we've been going down ever since. And we got supported. Well, we broke out of it, and then when we broke out of it, we somewhat turned it into a support, because actually the support region is not just a line, it could be something like a box right there. So it's not exact, but we actually bounced off of this area, and right now the green box is actually holding. So if this holds and curves up, then I see a huge potential. Plus, we've been making higher lows, which is a bullish sign. Now, last but not least, we have a coin which is the smallest cap of all the coins that I talked about, and that is none other than OMG Network. OMG Network was at $15, $16 almost, just a month ago. And right now we're at $3. I mean, what other discount do we want? Plus, OMG Network is an extremely solid project that I believe in big time. And if you take a look at the previous all-time high back in 2018, we went up to $28. So that's like a 9x. We could go 9x just in USD value if we go back to the all-time highs. And if you take a look at the OMG versus Bitcoin chart, even though we went down a lot, we're still making higher lows. This is still bullish in my opinion. Even though we went up then went all the way down there, this is still bullish in my opinion, and we have huge potential gains. And keep in mind guys, OMG Network is a small cap coin again. It got to a point where it was a mid cap, which means over $1 billion in market cap. But right now it's under $1 billion after this crash. So this has potential to multiply so much, and I believe in it big time. And if I see Bitcoin continuing to go up, then I'm definitely going to consider it. Now guys, the reason I'm in Bitcoin is the following. If you take a look at Ethereum against Bitcoin, actually, if you take a look at the Ethereum Bitcoin pair, I do think Ethereum has the opportunity to go further downwards against Bitcoin. I'm not saying it's going to go down. It might go up, but Bitcoin is going to outpace it for now. And I would like to pick up Ethereum if it goes down to this level of the 618 fib level, which is a very huge buying opportunity. And it's actually a support if you take a look from back there. Well, roughly about this area at 4,614 or 4 million sats. Anyway, if you take a look at this area, if it goes down all the way there, which is another 15%, I'm going to circle into Ethereum, because then there will be a huge buying opportunity and I would love to own some Ethereum as well. But the USD chart is actually looking good as well. So depending on where you're going to be looking, if it's actually the Ethereum Bitcoin or Ethereum US dollars, I like taking a look at both. And if they're both are in confluence, if that's what they say, then I would definitely buy. But for now, I would like to wait for this to drop a bit more against Bitcoin. And guys, honestly, right now, if Bitcoin decides to curve and go up, I think there is a low chance that you're going to mess up unless you enter and buy some of the very terrible coins that are going to be scams or that are just fundamentally not strong. But on that note, I took a look at Dogecoin earlier and I saw that it actually may be a huge potential to buy, because just like Uni bounced off of the 786 region, Dogecoin bounced as well. So if Doge gets the demand it got back a few months ago, we might see it curve and go back up to the all-time highs and maybe beyond that. Again, key point in this video, if Bitcoin curves back up and breaks 42k and keeps going up. Also the Doge Bitcoin chart, it's also actually holding very well compared to other coins. So if you take a look, we got a resistance right there, and then we broke out of this resistance, and then we went all the way up there to the all-time high, went down, got supported once again. Actually, let me make this the whole region, not just the line. And right now we went down, we somewhat bounced off of it, because some might argue that this might go all the way there. We bounced off of it and now we might see this curve back up. However, to me, I wouldn't buy this right now because, well, it's a 55% discount. Well, right now it's at 42%, but I would like to wait more for this, maybe pick this up back if it goes maybe back to 786 level, but I guess it's still cheap compared to the 75 cents all-time high. And that's what I think. What do you guys think? Do you think altcoins are going to steal the stage soon? Do you think there are way better altcoins than the ones I talk about? Let me know down below in the comment section below. If you want me to cover fundamentals instead of just technical perspectives, please let me know. I would love to do that in future videos. And like the video if you enjoyed it. And thanks for watching. Subscribe if you're new here. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.